Hello everyone, and welcome back to a bonus episode of Let's Play Breath of Fire 2. We avoided this orange man when we first visited Infinity, and that's because the moment we talk to him, we get a really long 12-minute, sort of well-intentioned bit of backstory, but ultimately kind of backfires. On account of, one, how poorly implemented it is, and two, also the fact that you can't skip it, and it just kind of punches you in the gut once you start it. Joining me today is Word on the Wind. How are you?
Hello there. It's been a while. I'm alright enough.
Also, we're a woman now. Just the moment you walk...
About time.
Yeah. But just like the moment you walk out of that house, it just sort of happens. No segue or anything.
I mean, like, it's a transition. You walk out of the house and then, you're in the past reliving the events, and I think it's done well enough.
Okay.
Because it's the same house that you're leaving from, realistically speaking.
Yeah. So, I think this is like... Ryu is 16 years old, right?
Something around there.
Yeah. So this is 16 years ago. And also, this is where they finally explain what the flashing icon in the right is. I told you that way before, just because it was so long, and in the meanwhile, you just always wonder what it is, but that's how you know. It's a mood ring, but for other people.
I mean, that is an immensely useful tool if you really get down to it. Like, if you could just look at a jewel and know how someone actually felt about you, despite how they were presenting, that would be incredibly useful.
Oh, it would help me a lot, although, well, there's a lot of hard work I've had to do as is just to sharpen up my speaking skills. Also, do you know what they mean when she says, as the Dragon Maiden? Like, is she special or descended from the first Ryu or something? I never got that.
Well, it's pretty clear that she's got something going on here. I imagine the idea is that, one of the NPCs will say something more overt, but we can probably safely extrapolate that she has some kind of a special mission that has been either assigned to her or she's volunteered herself for, and so she's just carrying out her duties here.
Well, from what the text was saying, she's here to look for signs of the Dark God awakening. Also, I love this guy's reaction.
Hold on, you have wings! You hot!
Yeah! Like, but because it's Breath of Fire, his reaction is just, you must not be from around here, huh? Talking dogs.
I mean, it's a better reaction than...
I suppose. Also, despite her mission to investigate Death Evan's awakening, she kind of finds this cave where Barbary presumably is and just kind of ignores it. I would think that's kind of her mission, but... why do you think she can just ignore that?
Well, I don't get the impression that whatever her mission here is supposed to be one of a combative nature, especially considering the way that this ends up going.
Oh, yeah. Funny you should bring that up. She gets married today. Did you know that?
I don't think it happened in a single day. It just kind of abbreviates.
Well, no. You have your church, you have the pastor, you have your handsome man and your beautiful woman. What more do you need? And they just fell in love instantly.
I mean, I know plenty of people who have a thing for wings, okay?
and that, actually, I have a question, too. So, people are getting married. Like, there's the guy that does your vows, and he asks, do you take him to be your happily beloved wife, whatever? If you're the guy that does that for other people, can you do that for yourself?
I mean, that's going to depend entirely on what the doctrine of Saint Ava is regarding such things. We can't really use, like, real-world comparisons. Like, if you want to, like, compare that to, like, Christianity or Catholicism, I'm fairly confident the answer is no, because broadly priests aren't supposed to marry, what I recall.
It depends on the denomination.
It depends on what your position is, but, like, your run-of-the-mill church runner isn't supposed to be doing that in the first place, by my understanding. I don't know. I don't practice those myself. But, like, I know that, like, you can do that if you're a pastor, not if you're a priest.
Maybe pastor, yeah. Speaking of real-world comparisons, I guess Goner is just like, oh yeah, I'll worship the dragon god at the same time as Saint Ava, whatever, no big deal. I don't think that would ever happen so casually with a pastor in America.
From what I understand, unlike priests, pastors are actually cool. So I can actually buy that.
I think the Bible sort of approaches that topic as though, like worshipping another god would be sort of like hitting on another pretty woman. Like, not that there's anything wrong with the woman, but you're tied down, you know what I mean?
Well, monogamy is stupid, so I approve.
Word on the wind. Gosh, wow. Well, anyways.
Listen, I don't have a whole lot of respect for those particular religions, so...
Okay. Well, I mean, it has a dark god with 12 penises. Obviously. I should spoil like that, but whatever. I'm sure he's really scary, whatever Death Evan's true form is. Also, imagine having a church for your house. I don't know if that would be convenient or really troublesome.
I mean, that sounds pretty regular to me, like a lot of, especially in like more medieval times and whatnot, someone who ran a place of worship often would reside there. Because it's like, oh, if someone needs, service or something in the wee hours, someone needs to be there.
Uh-oh. Goner thinks there's a commotion. A house-shaking commotion. I don't know what that could be, but I guess that's not so bad where they live.
I mean, I live in California. The house shakes all the time.
Huh. Never experienced that.
Quakes are common. This is why we make our structures of wood. It's flexible.
I see. Well, I guess I'm just plain lucky then. Also, this is probably why we should have investigated that cave a little more closely. She's wondering where they came from, and it turns out they're from here, but they also could have easily been from the cave, so... I count that as a fail on her part.
I mean... I don't know if I agree with that, considering that they know that Evan is in Infinity, so it makes sense that she would come back here. It's like, okay, there's like some schmuck over there, apparently, but it's apparently of small fry, or at least it doesn't seem to be doing anything, so I don't need to deal with that immediately. And I could just kind of observe, and then... oh hey, everything's exploding behind me, not in front of me.
That is true. Barbary doesn't do a whole lot for an arch-villain, does he?
Not really, he just kicks the crap out of, like, one kid and then crawls back into the infinity hole. I think the bigger question is, how did he get back in there?
That... I have no... there's a really good answer to that. I'll tell you what it is as soon as I figure it out, okay?
I think considering what you have to do to get into infinity, honestly, he probably just slipped in when no one was looking.
Oh hey! It's an Esper from FF6! Or Magicite, that's what it's called. Now, here's my question too. So, that door was open so little, they didn't even bother with another sprite for it, right? Yet they still got through. Those big old winged things and everything, right?
They're very good at contortion.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then how does her turning into a giant dragon and covering it with her hands do anything?
Have you tried to get through a dragon's hands?
So it moves, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying, a dragon is probably way bigger and stronger than you are.
That's true. But I was always under the impression that it was just sort of slept this whole time. So like if a giant town, let's say, just dropped in front of it, it wouldn't do anything, especially if it didn't cover it up fully, right? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, dragon, mountain. If you deploy it in front of a door, the door is probably not going to work.
No matter how good at contortion they are?
There's a difference between getting through a small space and trying to go through a solid mass.
Well, we'll see how they resolve that at the end of the game. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Also got a lot of subscribers from the last time I made this episode to now. It's kind of incredible. Thank you, guys. Anyways, have a lovely day. Be sure to join me, Skyzo, possibly Word on the Wind, for the final confrontation with Death Evan. Have a lovely day, everyone, and God bless you all.
Bye.
Bye.